journic.com. JOURNIC.com. Core concepts in Taoism. The concept of Taoism doesn't really sit well with many people. I would venture to say most people. Because in the Tao, everything is perfect. The universe was fine yesterday. The universe seems fine today. Tomorrow, the universe will more than likely still be fine. So what's the problem? There's a French poet who said, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Very Taoist. Very, very Taoist. So is trouble. So is suffering. Everything that you see in the world that's evil, it's in the eye of the beholder. Just like everything that you see that's beautiful, it's in the eye of the beholder. Suffering. Pain is inevitable when you go through neurological change. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is optional. Core concepts in Taoism. Happiness. Happiness is when you have everything you need. Joy is when you realize this. Core concepts in Taoism. Everything is perfect. There's nothing that's out of balance. This is the yin-yang. This is the concept of the yin-yang. For anything to exist, for evil to exist, there has to be good, because you've already made a judgment that this is on one end of the scale. That means that a scale exists. If a scale exists and one end of it exists, the other end of it also must exist by your creation, by your definition. This is one of the core concepts of Taoism. The yin-yang. Let's go into that a little bit. The yin-yang, the 3 elements, the 5 elements, which is the pentagram, the 7 elements, 7 chakras, or the 7 dimensions, the 8 elements, which is the I Ching, the Bagua, the 12 elements, which is the animal system. The animals are only there to represent an easy way to remember the energetic chi of each of those 12 elements. But they're all different ways of explaining. They're all higher resolution. The higher the number, the higher the fidelity and the precision and the resolution of the way to explain the core concept of the yin-yang. You take something as awful and atrocious, terrible, as the spilling of all the oil from the Exxon Valdez. Scientists said that it would take years, and the ecological damage would be irreparable within days. This weird sea, what was it, plankton or amoeba or something, look it up. It was in National Geographic, Discovery Channel, everywhere, CNN, started coming up and started eating the oil. Amazing. Just out of nowhere, that scientists had no idea that this life form even existed, came up and started eating the oil, balanced it out. Chernobyl. Nuclear explosion, nuclear leak. Scientists said, well, this part of the world will be uninhabitable forever. And it's still very dangerous, it's still highly toxic, and people are still suffering from it, true. But a bacteria that scientists had no idea about came up and started eating the radioactive particles. Now, scientists did say that it didn't seem like the bacteria was changing the radioactivity and toning it down. But what the bacteria was doing was spreading it, diffusing it, so that it wasn't so concentrated, it wasn't so deadly. Look that up. You can think of the most atrocious thing that happens in your mind, and you think, that's so terrible. The universe is really messed up. No, there is always something. Think of Hitler. There is always something that will happen to him. He'll kill himself, and do you realize that one of Hitler's pastimes was to hire prostitutes and have them go to the bathroom on plates and bowls, and he would eat their excrement. I don't know if it's an urban myth, but I believe it to be true, because the universe is ultimately balanced until he kills himself. And nobody wants to have the last name Hitler. Ever. The universe is ultimately balanced. The part that most people don't like about the Tao, the universe, is that the universe doesn't care if you know that it's balanced. That's the yin-yang. It is not responsible for you to know that it is balanced. The universe doesn't care. The universe doesn't send you a notice saying, oh, by the way, remember that guy that really pissed you off yesterday and that insulted you? He got into a car accident today. FYI. The universe doesn't send you those notes. Remember that guy that was abusive to you when you were a kid? Well, he has liver cancer now. FYI. The universe doesn't do that. So for you to be hurt, for you to be upset, and for you to be resentful and carry this emotional burden with you is 100% your right, is 100% justified, is 100% understandable, agreeable, and anyone who's your friend has the opportunity to support you through your hardship. However, if you want a reason to stop feeling sorry for yourself, this is the Tao too. Know that it's already been taken care of. Know that the universe is ultimately equitable. Any wrongdoing that's been done to you has already been paid back. Karma is instantaneous. It may seem like it happens over a long period of time. That's because you're the one choosing to stare at boiling water. Or water as it's about to boil. This is the Tao. Core concepts of Taoism. Taoism is not a religion. A religion is when you take something that someone wise and powerful does and says, and without even understanding it, you just start copying it. A wise man walks this path and exactly 3:23, he stops, takes a nap. And you think, well, he was wise and he's powerful, so I'm going to take a nap every day at 3:23. That becomes religion. If you act without the understanding, faith, core concepts of Taoism, faith based on emotions is credulity. Faith based on emotions is stupidity. Faith based on emotions, based on experience, is wisdom. They look about the same to an outside observer, but when you analyze for yourself, why do I actually believe this? Have you ever seen the sun not rise? No. You have experienced that the sun rises every morning, so the faith that the sun will rise tomorrow is wisdom. Have you ever seen anyone levitate, for instance? Have you? And if you have faith that levitation is possible, that is simply foolishness. Core concepts of Taoism. Let's continue this at Zhernik. There's much, much more. In fact, I'll put a link in the more info section of this video to a page, and it will have videos that you'll need to know if you're studying the Tao on everything from the Taoist alchemical system to the Taoist view of happiness in life. I look forward to seeing you at journic.com, journic.com.